Hey everyone, this is a video about our assignment 1.5 solving quadratics by factoring. I've brought up the notes that are out on our CTLS and on the blog, and we're going to talk about solving by factoring. This is about solving using technology, and basically it gets the factors backwards. This is something that you learned in Algebra 1, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on it since I want you to use technology when you're doing factoring, okay? But let's look at one or two of the problems just to make sure that we're on the same page. All right, so for you, this says x squared plus 7x. But first, let's look at our standard quadratic equation, okay, to try and find our zeros. All right, and so we have x squared plus 7x, and notice that there's something missing here. We don't have a constant in this one. All right, so when we're looking for our a, it's going to be our invisible 1. All right, 1. Our b is going to be 7, and our c, because there isn't any c here, this is like a 0, so c is going to be equal to 0. All right, oops, wrong card. So we're going to go to, so we had 1, 7, and 0. All right, so we're going to go to our 1, 7, and 0. All right, and then we're going to say, so a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, c is equal to 0, and we're going to say calculate, and it comes up and it says our answers are 0 and -7. All right, so over here I'm going to have two answers, so I want to hit this plus sign to give me two answers, and I'm going to put in 0 and -7. And I'm going to submit that as an answer, and that's our answer. I'm going to show you a technique you might have learned while you were in algebra. 7x equals 0. We can take an x out of each one of these using the x goes right here, and we have x plus 7 equals 0 left, and so we really have two equations. We have an equation for this x, which is x equals 0, and an equation for this one, x plus 7 equals 0. All right, and so to make this 0, we're going to subtract 7 from each side. That changes this into a 0, and now this says x equals -7. So there's a technique for using factors, right? So these are the factors. Using the factors to find x and -7. And if you're good at factoring, which I've done thousands of factoring problems, so I'm pretty good at it, that may actually be faster for you than... All right. So next we're going to, we have two of these to do today, 1.5 and 1.6. So here's, we're going to do 1.6, if I can get it open here. 1.6, which is quadratic solved by factoring. All right, so on this one, you have to do some algebra to find your a, b, and c. All right, and so we have 2x squared plus 17x equals 4x minus 6. Okay, now let's remember our two steps. Step 1 is make zeros. So step 1 is change to 0, and step 2 is change to 1. But we're actually going to only have to do step 2 is change to 1. But we're going to see, since we're going to use our calculator, that we only need to do step 1 here. All right, so we do need to make this look like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So all of this stuff needs to go over here. All right. So 2x squared plus 17 minus 4x minus 6. All right, so we need to change 4x minus 6 to 0. All right, so we're going to do that by subtracting. We change 4x to 0 by saying negative 4x, subtract 4x. If we do it on this side, that makes that a 0. We need to make that also on this side, which makes this equal to 13x. All right, and we have 2x squared. Bring that down. And now all we have left over here is negative 6. To change that to a 0, we add 6, and we add 6 to this side. And so now we've changed this into 2x squared plus 13x plus 6 equals 0. So we have a equals 2, b equals 13, and c equals 6. Sorry, I have allergies today. So we have 2, 13, and 6 is our a, b, and c. All right, so we have 2, 13, and 6. All right, we're going to calculate, and just in case we can't remember where I found this calculator, and you can use any one you want, it's in Calculator Soup under Algebra, and it's called the Quadratic Formula Calculator. But there's lots of calculators out there. All right, in this case it says x is equal to a minus 0.5, a negative 0.5, negative 0.5. We usually put fractions in, so I'll be interested to see if Delta Math will take our negative 0.5 answer. And yes, they do. Okay, and notice there, they show how to do this by factoring, but we're using technology. All right, so there is our 2 assignments for today, and good luck with those.